All right, so today we're going to talk about some of the best specials that came out last year in 2022. There were a number of specials that came out in the comedy scene that were from both veteran comedians and new comedians. And today I want to discuss some of the ones that really stood out on their own as something very special. So the first comedian I want to talk about today is Sheng Wang. You can check out his comedy special, Sweet and Juicy, on Netflix. Sheng Wang and Ali Wong started doing comedy together back in 2016 in San Francisco. And although Ali enjoyed her breakout in 2019, Sheng Wang had to wait a little bit longer to enjoy his moment in the sun. He has a very laid-back cadence similar to like a Mitch Hedberg, but his delivery is very unique and more of his own style. Some of the things I really like about the special was that he had very interesting topics. He doesn't really have a dull moment at any time throughout his special, which is something that I really enjoy. He didn't do a lot of crowd work or anything like that. He wasn't just biding time. He really conserved he used very great economy of words and was able to go from one joke to the next without having any dull moments at all.
As you get older, you do a lot of things for the very first time. This is the nature of growing up. But sometimes you do things you thought you would never, ever do. Like I recently bought pants from Costco. That's a big deal. That's a new chapter in your life, right? Because when you buy pants from Costco, that's when you don't care anymore.
Sheng Wang has a very short story style of comedy. He's pretty direct and to the point. He has great punchlines and segues. You don't have to listen very long to get a laugh because he has great delivery and moves on to the next premise. His topics range from a variety of things that he mostly enjoys, like Costco, Mounds bars, and deep kitchen sinks, and you wouldn't think those things are related, but he really makes these topics blend well.
A lot of change going on. I don't know when this happened. I just recently found out that my preferred mainstream candy bar is now Mounds. Which is surprising, right? Because we all know that's gross. That's gross, dude. If you don't know what Mounds is, it's like Almond Joy. But there's no almond. There's no joy. It's a lot of coconut. Oh, baby, this candy is fibrous. Baby, this candy got prebiotics. Mounds is a bad name. I don't get it. The sister product is Almond Joy. That's a crucial ingredient plus a positive emotion. Almond Joy, not a bad name. Somebody worked on that. Who approved Mounds? Did they ever see the product? Because it's brown and chunky. Mounds is a good name if your only other option was piles.
He also draws from his own personal experiences, which is something I like about him specifically. Some comedians tend to go for the hacky stuff, but Sheng really just draws from his own life and finds it funny in the strangest things, like his bit on life insurance deductibles and gaming the system. Overall, I think his hour was very well done. I hadn't heard of this comedian prior to this, but his hour really made me laugh. I think he needs more attention than what he currently has. And if you have Netflix, or if you plan on getting Netflix, get it and make sure that's the first thing you watch, because I think it's really, really funny. The second comedian I want to talk about today is Bill Burr. Now, this is not surprising that he would come out with a great special because he's done that for the last few times that he's pulled out an hour. His latest special is Live at the Red Rocks. It's about an hour and 22 minutes long. You can find it on Netflix. Again, this is an amazing special. He covers a range of topics from COVID. He doesn't go too deep into that, but he talks about COVID, cancel culture, woke culture, feminism, the wage pay gap in sports, female standards, homeless people, drug use, childhood, marriage, family, technology, genders, marriage again. Within the first few minutes of a special, he comes in hot, discussing COVID-19 and cancel culture. It's not surprising that he would do that. He does things like that all the time. Now, during the pandemic, it seems like a lot of comedians didn't do a great ton of work. Bill Burr obviously was not one of those people. It seems like a lot of the bits that he pulled out with his latest special, he had been working on them for quite some time. He wasn't just sitting at home twiddling his thumbs. It really showed in the way the special was polished and the way he was just more aggressive than normal at just pulling out these bits, going to the punchline, going to the segues. The audience really didn't stop laughing for the first 30 minutes of the special, and I am not joking when I say that. This was a very well done special, and you can tell that Bill had been doing work, even though he hadn't really been trying it out at the clubs. He had been doing something at home or working his way through his bits during the pandemic, and it really shows that he put in a lot of work into this last hour.
Fucking idiots. What kind of a fucking idiot white person refers to themselves as woke? You know, if you actually were socially conscious, you'd realize that white people stole that word from black people. Once again, doing the Elvis thing, right? But you know what? I blame black people for that. One of them fucked up. They were at a party, there was white people there, and they let it slip out. Stay woke, however the fuck you say it, and some white person heard it like, who is that? Oh my God. Stay woke? I want to say that. I gotta say that around my white friends so they know that I'm down. Oh my God, I'm gonna fucking say that.
If you haven't seen that special, I highly recommend that you do. Again, it's available on Netflix, and that's Bill Burr live at Red Rocks. The last one I want to talk about today is arguably one of the best specials in the last decade. It's no surprise because the building of the material took about 5 years to complete. Yes, I'm sure you've already heard of it. It's called Jew by Ari Shaffir. Ari is a comedian that has had his fair share of flack. His controversial comments about the death of Kobe Bryant got him canceled back in 2020. Apparently, he chose to shelve his material until things cooled off, and then there was, of course, COVID-19 that shelved the material for every other comedian around the world. When the lockdown ceased, he chose to start doing comedy with a brand new set. Joe Rogan had commented to Ari that he absolutely had to put out the material that became his latest hour. Now, I don't know if that's exactly true, but the point is that he chose to put this out independently, paying for his own special and putting it out on YouTube. The set is beautifully lit with candles, the cinematography was great the whole way through, and his material is amazingly polished. This material centers around religion. I haven't really heard of any other specials that's around religion quite like this one, but this was much more than that. It was more than comedy. It was a story about his life, about Jewish life, about religious life, and about life itself.
Yeah, I was raised Orthodox Jewish. I don't know if you know what that is. That's a Frisbee Jew, you know, that kind. Second highest level of Jew. One step down from Hasidic Jew, or as I call them, Mortal Kombat Jews.
It was a history lesson and a perspective outlook from the outsider seeing in for both the comic and the audience.
You fucking Christians are hilarious with their separations. Every other religion is just one thing. Just Muslim, Jewish, Buddhist, and there's fucking 31 flavors of Jesus. I mean, let's start at the beginning. That's the only way to do this. Adam and Eve. You guys know that story? Okay. If you don't know that story, this is all gonna go over your head tonight. Here's what happened. In 6 days, God created the world. On the seventh day, he rested. You guys remember this one. And then later, God went to Adam and was like, Adam, how do you like it here? How do you like the Garden of Eden? And Adam's like, oh, dude, I love it. It's awesome. Plenty of sunshine, tons of animals to fuck. This place is sweet. So he made Eve. And to make Eve, you guys remember how he made Eve? The rib, yeah, you guys remember this. Yeah, he told Adam, I gotta crack off one of your ribs. And I'm sure Adam was like, why is that the new process for making things? Did you lose powers, dude?
He provides insight on what it's like to grow up being Jewish, while at the same time putting himself in the position of an outsider looking into other religions like Christianity, comparing and contrasting them in a very hilarious manner.
They told me about Jesus, and I was fucking blown away. They were like, he walked on water. And I was like, that's impossible, can't. And everybody's favorite trick was turn water into wine. That, dude, man of the people, for sure. I heard about that. I was like, what kind of wine was it? And they were like, Ari, you're literally the first person to ever ask that question. What a nitpicky, Jewy thing to worry about.
I know there are many people that don't like Ari, and I wouldn't blame them. From the Kobe thing to slipping drugs to one of his friend's drinks as a goof, there are plenty of reasons not to like this guy. But this special is an example of a human putting their life into their work.
Here's why I don't really do impressions. Here's my only impression I do. It's the sound of the soul of a Jew. Ready?
His special runs at about an hour and 30 minutes, and yet still feels like it could have been longer. I can't say enough good things about this special. It truly is one of the best ones I've seen in a very long time, and I'm so glad that I did.
The story, the Jews were slaves in Egypt. Egypt was a superpower, and their labor force, their manual labor force, was the weakest, most complaining people in the world. And by the way, Egypt is in Africa. Like, there's better options out there. I'm just saying, who do you want picking up stones for you? Dikembe Mutombo or Gilbert Gottfried?
It's available today on YouTube. Check it out. Ari Shaffir, Jew. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.